In Revenge of the Sith, we see the council meeting where Anakin is denied mastery, but what we do not see is the meeting beforehand where the council actually discusses Anakin in depth, discusses having him spy on Palpatine, and discusses why he can't be a master, all of this without Anakin. It's not in the movie, but it is in the Revenge of the Sith novelization. I think it's really cool, hope you guys do as well, and let's get right into it. In the Jedi Council chambers, the Council was asking Obi-Wan to ask Anakin to do something he knew Anakin would not want to do, and Obi-Wan was still trying to talk them out of it. "Yes, of course I trust him," he said patiently. "We can always trust Anakin to do what he thinks is right, but we can't trust him to do what he's told. He can't be made to simply obey. Believe me, I've been trying for many years." Conflicting currents of energy swirled and clashed in the Council chambers. Traditionally, decisions of the Council were reached by quiet, mutual contemplation of the flow of the Force, until all of the Council was of a single mind on the matter. But Obi-Wan knew of this tradition only by reputation, from tales in the archives, stories told by masters, whose tenure on the Council predated the return of the Sith. In the all too short years since Obi-Wan's own elevation, argument in this chamber was more the rule than the exception. "An unintentional opportunity the Chancellor has given us," Yoda said gravely. "A window he has opened into the operations of his office. Fools we would be to close our eyes." "Then we should use someone else's eyes," Obi-Wan said. "Forgive me, Master Yoda, but you just don't know him the way I do. None of you do. He is fiercely loyal, and there is not a gram of deception in him. You've all seen it. It's one of the arguments that some of you, here in this room, have used against elevating him to Master. He lacks the true Jedi reserve. That's what you've said. And by that, we all mean that he wears his emotions like a HoloNet banner. How can you ask him to lie to a friend, to spy upon him?" "That is why we must call upon a friend to ask him," said Aegon Kolar in his gentle Zabrak baritone. "You don't understand," Obi-Wan said. "Don't make him choose between me and Palpatine." "Why not?" asked the hollow presence of Plo Koon from the bridge of his ship, where he directed the Republic Navy against the Separatist choke points on Cato Nemoidia. "Do you fear you would lose such a contest?" "Don't you know how much Palpatine's friendship has meant to him over the years?" Obi-Wan said. "You're asking him to use that friendship as a weapon, to stab his friend in the back. Don't you understand what this will cost him, even if Palpatine is entirely innocent? No, especially if he's innocent. Their relationship will never be the same, and that," Mace Windu said, "may be the best argument in favor of this plan. I've told you all what I've seen of the energy between Skywalker and the Chancellor. Anything that might distance young Skywalker from Palpatine's influence is worth the attempt." Obi-Wan didn't need to reach into the Force to know that he would lose this argument, so he inclined his head. "I will, of course, abide by the ruling of this council," he said. "Doubt of that none of us has." Yoda turned his green gaze on the other counselors. "But if to be done this is, decide we must how to best use him." The hollow presence of Ki-Adi-Mundi flickered in and out of focus as the Jedi Master leaned forward, folding his hands, and he said, "I too have reservations on this matter, but it seems that in these desperate times, only desperate plans have hopes of success. We've seen that young Skywalker has the power to battle a Sith Lord alone, if need be. He has proven that with Dooku. If he is indeed the chosen one, we must keep him in play against the Sith, keep him in position to fulfill his destiny. And even if the prophecy has been misread," Aegon Kolar added, "Anakin is the one Jedi we can best hope would survive an encounter with the Sith Lord. So let us also use him to help set our trap. In this council, let us emphasize that we are intensifying our search for Grievous. Anakin will certainly report this to the Chancellor's office. Perhaps, as you say, that will draw Sidious into action." Mace Windu spoke up, saying, "It may not be enough. Let us take this one step further. We should appear short-handed and weak, giving Sidious an opening to make a move that he thinks will go unobserved. I'm thinking that perhaps we should let the Chancellor's office know that Yoda and I have both been forced to take the field. Too risky, that is," Yoda said, "and too convenient. One of us only should go." "Then it should be you, Master Yoda," Aegon Kolar said. "It is your sensitivity to the broader currents of the Force that a Sith Lord would have most reason to fear." Obi-Wan felt the ripple of agreement flow through the chamber, and Yoda nodded solemnly. "The Separatist attack on Kashyyyk a compelling excuse will make, and good relations with the Wookiees I have. destroy the droid armies I can, and still be available to Coruscant, should Sidious take our bait. Agreed. Mace Windu looked around the half-empty council chamber with a deepening frown. And one last touch. Let the Chancellor know, through Anakin, that our most cunning and insightful master, and our most tenacious, is set to lead the hunt for Grievous. So Sidious will need to act, and act fast if the war is to be maintained, Plo Koon added approvingly. Yoda nodded as well. Agreed, Agen Kolar said, and Ki-Adi-Mundi as well. This sounds like a good plan, Obi-Wan said, but what master do you have in mind? For a moment, no one spoke, as though astonished he would even ask such a question. Only after a few seconds, in which Obi-Wan looked from faces of one master to the next, puzzled by the expressions of gentle amusement each and every one of them wore, did it finally register that all of them were looking at him. And that is the council meeting before the council meeting. So the council, you know what we see in Revenge of the Sith, where Anakin is denied mastery, and then it's decided that Obi-Wan will go to Utapau, and Yoda will go to Kashyyyk, or just not that Obi-Wan will go to Utapau, but that he'll fight Grievous. All of that is actually decided before Anakin even enters the room. So that entire council meeting that we see in Revenge of the Sith, this book is technically Legends now, but you can, take it as you want. That entire meeting is technically a play by the Jedi. Anakin is the only one that doesn't know that all of the events being discussed have already been set in motion, so the Jedi have already decided that Anakin will not be a master. The Jedi have already decided that Yoda will be going to Kashyyyk. The Jedi have already decided that Obi-Wan will be the one fighting against General Grievous whenever that time does come. So they're just kind of tricking Anakin, and the whole time Obi-Wan's like, guys, what are we doing? Don't make Anakin spy on the Chancellor. They're good friends. Anakin's not gonna like that. He's an emotional guy. And the council's like, too bad, dude. We shouldn't be talking to the Chancellor. Obi-Wan, what do you even know? So it's another look into, I assume, like, Obi-Wan, you could have spoke up a little bit more. You could have tried a little harder. And, when he's like, fine, I'll just do whatever the council wants. Come on, man. Try a little harder. Because now when Anakin walks in, they've got to deny him mastery. And then Obi-Wan's got to get him alone and say, hey, by the way, you're also spying on the Chancellor secretly. So, yeah. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. Appreciate you guys. Check out the main channel, the Star Wars Galaxy, for what if videos a few times a week. And I'll see you in the next video.